Let me call to order the April 29th meeting of the Hawaii County Legislature's Public Works Committee. Judy, Council Manager, please take the roll call.
Sure. Ricard.
Present.
Mayo. Cleary.
Here.
Fine. Andrew Joyce.
Here.
Reinhardt. Whalen. Here. Bergdorf.
Here.
And Smith. You have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is approval of previous motion. Just before I ask Jury Council Canada, we're going to go a little out of order with various things today, but she's going to read the second.
Item 2 is authorizing an agreement with Direct Energy Business, LLC, regarding the purchase of electricity for various county facilities. Executive Director Gotti is here this evening.
Well, thank you. On behalf of the Energy Advisory Group, we are requesting a one-year contract extension with Direct Energy Business LLC. Contract term is from August 1, 2025 through July 31st, 2026. This contract is for the price to lock in the fixed adder cost of $23.68 per megawatt hour. We intend to buy blocks over the next several months, similar to what we did with the gas contracts, where we'll take advantage of market dips. Based on current numbers, we can lock in a total cost of $68.64 per megawatt hour as compared to the current rate of $78.12, which is just over 12% reduction. And again, we hope to take advantage of dips over the next couple months until basically the deadline of August 1st.
Thank you. Do any of the other citizens have questions?
Do you have any idea, the backup information talks about the clean energy standard. And I'm just wondering if we have any idea of how much of this power is green power that we're purchasing in the blocks?
I don't have that information. There's a clean energy standard that's basically a state fee that gets assigned to, so that's basically kind of a gas grant.
And they allude to it,
Right.
but they never really said, how much of the power will be green. And, I suppose a related question to would be one, this is an extension of the existing contracts. Are they reporting to us past use of green power?
I don't have that information available right now. I can request that information and circulate that.
I'd be curious to know what that is, because we have county goals to develop more green, use more green. We are developing, develop the EV array, so that should really help a lot. But I've not been able to get any numbers back, even the one I asked, about how much power on an annual basis, electricity,
Right.
how much electricity is coming from green sources in our own consumption.
Yeah, that I don't know. I will say with this contract, the reason we initially selected Direct Energy is because at the time the bid was issued in 21, they did offer a community solar option with that. So that was kind of one of the reasons for the selection. And then with the community solar reduction, it ended up being the lowest net cost to us as well.
I know we have a sustainability plan. We riders have been working on it, and I repeatedly asked him when it was going to be done. I'm not sure whether it's going to work on it.
Well, I can request that information of Direct Energy, and we'll see when we get back. I can circulate that.
Thank you, Mr. Berger. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Angelo, with this particular contract, what is the range of our costs that we're locking in compared to what we have locked in?
I don't have the total cost in front of me. Again, right now, based on the rate, it equates to about 12% reduction. So if you compare basically our current rate, which is set to run through the end of July of this year. So basically, this will be the second renewal option, what we're requesting. So we're on a one-year contract currently.
Okay.
So from basically the current contract, dollars per megawatt hour to what we likely will be locking in is likely to be at least 12%. The plan for us is to lock in 25% at that $68 threshold, which is, again, I think it equates to 12.8% of a reduction compared to our current rate. And again, hopefully we can take advantage of lower dips over the next several months so that gap will actually increase a little bit if we're able to get,
So if we lock in a price and we lock in a 12% reduction, and the market changes so that it becomes more economical, we have the ability to sort of
Yes.
double down and lock in at a lower price.
right, so we do it in blocks, so depending on whatever the percentage of the block is, if it drops another 2-3%, we can take advantage of that. It's really up to the group to decide whether we want to, increase that percentage of the block to maybe 50% if it's more advantageous. Again, I think some of there's been a recent pullback in energy costs, just kind of with recession concerns and just sort of economic trends right now. So again, hopefully over the next,
How is this going to conflate with, I just read that there were 30, up to 30% increases approved for National Grid. How is it that we,
Some of the
is the
costs
spot market
Well, some of
that
the-
much below those?
depends on where the costs land, because some of the costs are pass-through costs, so some of the environmental fees, some of those are pass-through. So again, if there's certain fees that are mandated by state, those are essentially a pass-through cost. So in those cases, we wouldn't really see that.
So the distribution costs and pass-through costs, you're really only looking at raw energy.
Right, supply, yeah, so it would be the supply minus any kind of ancillary fees that we would assign to the state.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any further questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Jones makes a motion, do I have a second? Mr. Berger, our second. All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 3 is authorizing an agreement with Moore Fire Extinguisher Company regarding fire extinguisher and suppression system inspection services for various county facilities. Commissioner,
Pamela Yell, here to
oh,
We issued a bid, it's a 3-year contract for the fire extinguisher and suppression system inspection services. We received 2 bids. Moore Fire is the lowest responsible bidder. They're our current provider, and the prices have not changed from the previous 3 years.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? It's an item on the motion. Mr. Reyes makes a motion, second by Mr. Clary. All those in favor? Item carries unanimously.
Item 14 is authorizing an agreement with Colliers Engineering and Design, Architecture, Landscape Architecture Surveying regarding the design, right-of-way incidentals, acquisition, and construction inspection for the County Route 301 over the Onasqua Creek Culvert Replacement Project in Scotland.
Yeah, we thought this commission was.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Because that's why we did it. It's all right.
Okay, I thought it was, I didn't know it was mine. Yes, so this is a project, we're going to be replacing the County Route 301 culvert in the town of New Scotland. This project was awarded $1.5 million in culvert New York funding, so this will be 100% state funded. Also, it should be noted that Colliers was selected through a qualifications-based process versus a fee-based process, as is required by application guidelines for culvert.
Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Somebody like to make a motion on it? Mr. Reyes makes a motion, Mr. Hammond seconds. All those in favor? Item carries unanimously. So we're going to go for you. Pretty much just keep it as the.
That's fine. All right, we're gonna go back to your first item, which I think is 11. Authorizing an agreement with Allen Industries regarding annual hauling and placing contract for various county roads.
Yes, so this is our annual roadway maintenance project. This year, we're going to be paving 29.43 miles. Callahan was the lowest bidder out of 6 bids, and this is going to be paid for with our CHIPS funding. This year, we're going to be paving roads in Bern, Colony, Gilderland, Westerlo, and Rensselaerville.
Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Somebody like to make a motion? Mr. Reyes, second by Mr. Clary. All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 12 is authorizing an agreement with All States Construction, DBA Gorman's Construction, for joining crack sealing on various county roads.
Yep, so this is an annual preventative maintenance process whereby we seal the cracks in the pavement. This prevents water and debris from getting into the cracks, which can weaken the base and subbase layers and lead to potholes and more extensive cracking.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Mr. Berger?
Lisa, are we doing this ourselves now, or
So
for
not
a
the
while we had a
cracks.
vendor, then they got very expensive, and then we were doing it ourselves, and
So that was with striping.
striping.
Yep,
Okay.
so for crack sealing, we've always hired out, and
Okay.
Gorman is on state contract or which,
Okay.
yeah. So this is not something we do ourselves.
Thank you. Is there any further questions on this item? Seeing none, Mr. Berger makes a motion, we have a second. Mr. Joyce makes a second. All those in favor? Opposed? And carries unanimously.
Item 13 is authorizing an agreement with Robert A. Finke and Sons and Clark Equipment regarding the purchase of a Bobcat compact loader.
Yeah, so this track loader is going to replace our 2007 rubber tire skid steer. It's an extremely versatile piece of equipment because we can use a lot of our accessories on it. Some of the accessories we can use are a milling head, a stump grinder, a broom, a post hole digger, and road saw attachments. So this enables us to get a lot of work done with a lot less effort.
Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion? Do I have this motion? Do I have a second? All those in favor? Opposed? And it carries unanimously.
Item 15 is authorizing an agreement with New York State Department of Transportation regarding design, right-of-way incidentals and acquisition and construction inspection work for the County Route 301 over Onondaga Creek project in the town of New Scotland.
Yeah, so this is the state and local agreement for the Colliers contract that I previously spoke about. I did notice an error in the cover letter. It said that it's 95% state funded. This project is actually 100% state funded, up to $1.5 million. So that will need to be corrected.
Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion? Mr. Ryan makes a motion, we have a second. Mr. Cleary, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And it carries unanimously.
16 is authorizing an agreement with Reese Road Equipment regarding the purchase of a sweeper truck.
Yeah, so this sweeper truck will replace our 2008 truck. We currently have 2 trucks, and we're going to be auctioning off the oldest.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion? Mr. Joyce makes a motion, we have a second. Mr. Cleary, second. All those in favor?
Item 17 is authorizing an agreement with the New York Power Authority regarding routine and non-routine maintenance for county streetlights.
Good evening, everyone. So this request is for a contract amendment for a 1-year extension for an ongoing agreement that we have.
Could you just state your name for the record?
Yeah, apologies. My name is Patrick Kern. I'm a policy analyst with the County Executive's Office. So this request is for a contract amendment to add a 1-year extension to an ongoing agreement that we have with the New York Power Authority for routine maintenance on the county's streetlights.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Cleary makes a motion, second by Mr. Reinhardt.
I have a question. Are those streetlights LED or
Yep.
do we own the tops? Did we ever take advantage of that program where we bought?
Yes, so all of the county-owned streetlights are LED lights. We took advantage of the state funding for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Mr. Cleary made a motion, second by Mr. Reinhardt. All those in favor? Opposed? And carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to go back to item 4, right?
Yes. Item 4 is authorizing an agreement with GDI Inc. for facility cleaning at the end of the year.
So GDI is the cleaning company at the MVP Arena. They have a mutual option in their contract for another 3-year term. That's what we're asking to exercise in this contract renewal. They've done a good job since they've changed from the original Italian cleaning company to GDI. There's been a tremendous difference in the quality of the work, cleaning inside the building. When we have to change over from one event to the other, we're extremely happy with this service as compared to what it was before. And we highly recommend that we go forward with them. They're going to keep the cost of it in line with what the contract has been in the past.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Joyce, second by Mr. Cleary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Item 5 is authorizing the renewal of a lease agreement with Saratoga Eagles Sales and Service regarding suite number 19 at the MVP Arena.
Actually, the suite leases are, there's about 16 leases that are coming up for renewal on September 1st. I think I mentioned the last time when we had, I think, 2 or 3 that were the last time that we approved them. We increased the suite fees from 51 to 54.5 annually. So there's an increase that we have put into it. The last 2 contracts were a flat 51. So we wanted to bump it up a little bit for a cost of living increase. We haven't had any pushback from the suite holders. Everybody is putting the letters when they can. And Saratoga Eagle's been a good suite holder for a long term. And they paid their bills, and we think they're a good suite holder. We'd like to get them renewed.
Sounds good. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Berger makes a motion, Mr. Joyce seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 6 is authorizing the renewal of a lease agreement with Panel Broadcasting regarding suite number 4 at the MVP Arena.
This is almost identical. I think they've been a suite holder a little bit longer than Saratoga Eagle. This is Panel Broadcasting, is also Albany Broadcasting. Jim Morrell and his family have been involved in that suite almost since the beginning of the building opening. They're a good partner. They pay good bills, and I think it's a great thing we know.
Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on that? Mr. Berger makes a motion, second by Mr. Joyce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously. All right, we're going to go to the 18th item, right?
18 is authorizing an agreement with Hudson Valley Wireless regarding Wi-Fi and network upgrades for the MVP Arena.
Commissioner Lapine, yes, an RFP was issued for the upgrade in network and bandwidth at the MVP Arena. There was 4 responsive bidders. We felt and brought in the 2 lowest bidders to make sure that they had everything in their bids. And then we vetted at a couple of meetings, and Hudson Valley was awarded a contract as being the lowest responsive bidder. $226,770 with a contingency of $22,677 for a total of $249,477.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions? Mr. Berger?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, we've talked about upgrading the wireless a number of times. First, we were doing it for, sports writers and media, and at that point in time, we thought we were going to have all the bandwidth we ever needed. Sort of what happened, and is this going to solve the problem in perpetuity? Or there's no such thing as perpetuity?
It's a great question that you asked. So we have a contract for digital antenna service, the DOT service, which is what you're referring to, which is the bandwidth for cell service in the building. That was about to be installed. That's a contract that the county entered into about 1.5 years ago. And with that contract, there was an advance payment from Bolden to the arena of about $225,000, and then for each carrier that signed, another $75,000 would come in. They have come in and done multiple site visits. They've spec'd out everything and by the way, all the costs on this is paid for by this company. The company that we're referring to is Bolden, and which ironically, they did put a bid in for the Wi-Fi as well, which was a bit high comparatively to the rest of the bids. But that system should be installed within the next 2 months. And then we will have the Wi-Fi or the bandwidth router that you're talking about. But the Wi-Fi is completely different. And so I'll give you kind of an example. When people are streaming in the building, and a classic case would be back in March when we had the NCAA basketball, and Caitlin Clark was there. and it was a sold-out building, and everybody was on their phone, and everybody was streaming. And one of the biggest complaints we had from the NCAA was the fact that we didn't have sufficient Wi-Fi. Not sure that any building in the country would have had sufficient Wi-Fi on that particular day because of cable departure at that moment. But this is going to be a very broad upgrade to our Wi-Fi, and not only will it help with being able to stream thousands and thousands of people will be able to stream at once inside the building, but you're also going to get a great assistance in the ticketing scanning that's going to be needed for each of the entrances. And so that's all Wi-Fi driven. And when you've got 6,000, 7,000 people coming in at once, everybody is getting their phones ready with their tickets on them, and it's all Wi-Fi poll. So this is going to greatly assist that. And we're also planning to get this installed between now and August 1st, which is very, very important because we have the CrossFit World Championships coming in on August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's going to be broadcast to about 110 countries. And it's probably got about 80% of the fans that will go into the building that are going to be from other countries. So the Wi-Fi that's going to be needed for that, as you can imagine, is going to be much greater than just about any other event.
So the combination of the antenna and the bandwidth will turbocharge the system.
It will, and it will greatly help us when it comes to bids for the NCAA. Yeah.
That's already done it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I will personally attest to the situation last year with people we tried to do live streaming.
Had a hard time.
I think it's a great thing. So the reason for the sense of urgency is because of that CrossFit meeting.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that's in August?
It's in August, and in order to be able to get it installed prior, the vendor that's selected has to have a signed contract, and then they will be ordering components.
Sure.
And with all of the concern about tariffs and everything else, the delays, we want to make sure that we're able to enable that contractor to get the components in so we can get it installed prior to that date.
Yeah, I can personally attest that I had to make a purchase recently because I was concerned about the tariffs. So it's better to do before than after, so we don't know what's going to happen, unfortunately. It is what it is. So is there any other questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Berger makes a motion. Do you want a second? Mr. Randall, second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7 is authorizing the renewal of an agreement with the town of Gilliland regarding the use of data center space and fiber connectivity located at 112 State Street.
Good evening, public works. Yep, this is Pat Alderson from Information Services. This is a renewal of an MOU with the town of Guilderland to allow their technology department to use the county's main data center at 112 State Street for a backup data center site. So in the event of an emergency, if the town of Guilderland loses access to the main data center, that would fail over, and they would be able to continue operations out of the county's data center here at 112 State Street.
Thank you. Legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it?
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a scapegoat, but for this one and the next one, did we ever consider like charging rent?
So historically, so I did actually think about like, could there be a way to create like a chargeback model? Technically, either of these municipalities are consuming, either the town of Guilderland and the next item that I'm going to present on, which is for the city of Albany, are consuming like electrical resources as well as cooling resources at both our data center here as well as our backup data center in Voorheesville. My understanding is that when I tried to do a cost estimate and calculation of how much energy the equipment that either the town of Guilderland is hosting in our data center here and that the city of Albany is hosting at our data center in Guilderland, it became apparent that that's a nominal charge. And that cost would be more administratively burdensome to administer that. That being said, why in the past why in the past it's existed this way. I think it's because there was just, the intent was to have like good cooperation between the county and the municipalities. And at the time, whoever was running the IT department didn't really think that aspect of it through. But yeah, certainly this can be characterized as a shared service to either the town of Guilderland or the next item to the city of Albany. And there should possibly be a charge associated with that.
Just was curious about that.
It's a hard one.
If it's a standard or not, you know, like common practice.
So I actually don't know many municipalities in New York State that are, that have this level of cooperation between the county government and their municipal governments. We in Albany County do because of how the public safety answering points network, so the dispatch network was built out in the past. They needed to build in like some level of redundancy, and the county kind of was the backbone for that dispatch network. So they kind of did it de facto as a matter of like organic growth. And then I think it continued into services beyond just the dispatch network. But it's something we could certainly look at. These are only one-year agreements. Again, when I calculated out the cost of electricity and heating and cooling for the city of Albany, and their particular equipment, which they have less equipment than the town of Guilderland, it was under $1,000 for a year.
Is there any thinking about doing this or offering this to other municipalities? So that we have a, you know, across the entire county, every municipality would have the same arrangement? And is there any value in that to have backup for everybody in one controlled place?
That would certainly be best practice. We are already providing some IT services for the town of Green Island, as well as the town of Clemens for their police departments. There's existing agreements in place for that. But yeah, it would make a whole bunch of sense to have DR sites for all of those other municipalities in Albany County as well. I would think that we could leverage shared services like this at a much more cost-effective scale than, for example, co-locating a backup site at a different location. So, for example, like First Light, they have a data center on North Broadway, and I don't know, like for example, what the town of Colony is doing, but I think there could be some efficiencies that could be realized if there was greater municipal cooperation.
Thank you. Is there any further questions? Someone like to make a motion on it? Motion, Mr. Joyce makes a motion. Do we have a second? Mr. Cleary, all those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 8, authorizing the renewal of an agreement with the city of Albany regarding the use of data center space and fiber connectivity located at 112 State Street.
So this is a very similar arrangement, except as opposed to the town of Guilderland, which has their backup data center here at 112 State for the city of State Street. The city of Albany would be at co-located with our backup data center, which is out in Voorhees.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions? Do you have a question?
No.
Objection? No question? Okay. Mr. Reinhardt makes a motion, second by Mr. Cleary. All in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 9 is authorizing the agreement between the New York State Office of Information Technology Services and the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding cyber information sharing and collaboration.
So this is an agreement with the state ITS as well as state Homeland Security to provide it's called a Security Information and Event Management service. This is one of New York State's cybersecurity shared service offerings that they provide to county governments and other local governments in New York State. We already have similar arrangements for our antivirus solution, as well as our attack surface management solution for the county. This is a no-cost shared service to Albany County, and we're looking to get on the wait list for implementing this tool. Currently, we do pay for a SIM service. It is approximately $150,000 a year. So as soon as we can kind of get queued up and have this state-provided service deployed, we'll be able to kind of cut back on that cost and shift it to other security initiatives. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Thank you. Do any legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion? Chair makes a motion, do I have a second? Reinhardt seconds, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? I have to abstain. I assume so, I was going to ask you if you wanted. So that's unanimously with one section change, Mr. Joyce. Thank you.
Item 10 is authorizing renewal of an agreement with CPW Government regarding the Arctic Wolf Managed Detection and Response Solution System.
So this is a one-year contract for $170,000 that is funded by state Homeland Security grant funds, which are administered through the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. This is a one-year renewal of an existing agreement that, or an existing service that we have in place that we implemented last summer. It provides 24/7 monitoring of county computing assets and helps provide our team with strategic guidance on planning and other tools that we should be considering. This agreement is only for 1 year because if we're able to execute that shared service arrangement with New York State ITS, we'll be able to take the $170,000 that we're spending on an annual basis for this service and hopefully leverage them elsewhere in the environment.
Thank you. Do any legislators have any questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion? Mr. Clary makes a motion, second by Mr. Reinhardt, all those in favor? Opposed? 4 abstentions, so as unanimously, 1 abstention. Thank you.
Thank you. Good one.
That concludes our business for the evening. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Joyce makes a motion, do I have a second? Mr. Reinhardt? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Is it before you?